Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hi Shanta. Now we can hear you.
Yeah, yes. Hello, Shanta. Hello.
Okay.
Shanta,
Okay.
can I start
Sorry,
from?
it's my. Yeah, I'll start from scratch first.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, fine.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Today we are going to see the fifth session in the Microsoft Graph. That is what how to integrate the Lewis bot to fetch the data from Office 365 and so in the bot emulator. That's what we are going to see as a demo. And before going to that, first of all, I say thanks to C Corner and Chennai Chapters for providing this opportunity to continue the 5 session in this Microsoft Graph. And I have also written blogs and videos in YouTube, so you can search anything in the name of KTS Kumar social handle and any social media. Okay, that's what. And you can, if you want to get the details more, you can log into my ktskumar.com site, and you can get more details on the Microsoft Graph. Okay. So today's agenda is first we are going to see the recap of the previous sessions. Then we'll go into a demo. Today is purely the demo session. First of all, we are going to create how to create a Louis board from the Azure portal, then how to authenticate, how to enable the authentication to the Microsoft Graph from the Louis board. Then we are going to fetch the data from Microsoft Cloud in the bot emulator. This is what today's session is. And just a recap. So in the first part, I have given the detail on what is Microsoft Graph and what is Graph API, and just given the introduction on Graph Explorer and how to fetch the data from Microsoft Cloud from the Graph Explorer. So I have given the detail, and you can get this detail in this YouTube URL. Next one is we have seen how to create a AngularJS application with the Microsoft Graph API. So we have created a full-fledged single-page application on this. And the third one is we have seen a deep analysis on authentication and authorization. So how it is works and how the Graph API which fetches the data from the cloud. So for each different type of applications, and what are different type of SDKs available. So all the things I have covered in this session. Just you can get this information, this YouTube link. And in the last session, we have created a full-fledged ASP.NET MEC app to fetch the Graph API to get the Office X5 information, OneDrive, and all cloud environment. Okay. So in this today's session, we have in the previous sessions we have seen the JavaScript and .NET side. Today we are going to see how to access the Graph API from the bot. Okay, so I'm going to giving the demo on how to do everything from the bot emulator. Okay, so yeah, we'll go into the demo now. Okay. Okay. Let me move back to my Azure portal. Okay, here to all create a resource. First, we have to create the bot from the Azure, because the Luis and all machine learning and artificial intelligence, everything is running in the back in the Azure portal. So we are going to, they have given the template on this. So just A plus machine learning, and then I'm going to select a web app part. Once it's selected, we have to give a name. Okay. So deep dive 5, I'm giving. Okay, deep dive maybe MS Graph 5 as a bot name. Okay, and resource group is KTS Kumar, and locational select as West US. And so this is our option only. So okay, so and then app name is this one, and I'm going to select a basic bot as a Node.js, because we are going to create and we are going to use a Visual Studio Code for developing this. So fully we can do it from JavaScript. Okay, so and then SDK 4 version, this is the latest one, and Node.js and basic bot. Okay, Louis application, and I'm going to use the existing my storage, and then I'm enabling the application insights, and I enable auto create app ID and password. Okay, once we given this, let me Node.js and select. It's not changing. Okay. Okay, changed, and I'm going to create this. So it's in the backend, it's validating the NTR inputs. It's already the name is there, and we are is that you are having enough resource, or you are having enough space in the Azure storage. So everything it will validate, and in the meanwhile, it also create a app ID and password for you. So this we can see it in maybe Louis.a. This is a site for managing the Louis information. So it's by default it will automatically create an app ID and password here because we have enabled this Microsoft app ID and password. So based on that, it will create new one. Okay, I'm just log in. Okay, create. Here you can see it's automatically created. Okay, in the back end, it's still the deployment in progress. There is a separate Louis app is created in this Louis.ai site. Okay, once I selected this, it will show you different because if you know about the Louis, it's based on it's a work based on intents and entity. Okay, so whatever information you are given, whatever it's check, it validates it it validates what is your intent is, what are going what you want to do with this bot. Okay, and then entity is there's objects or information. So based on the intent and entity, the whatever information we have entered, whatever we input we are giving to the bot, it will understand our text based on the intent and entity. Okay, so that's what Louis. So it's maybe you can try out later on creating how to create a Louis bot. Okay, so it's a simple only. So it's only based on intent and entity. Everything is running based on this two objects assets. Okay, it's still in progress. Okay, we'll wait for some time. Okay, in the meanwhile, we'll see. Okay, by default, it has some of the intents like you can see counter dot add. So it's based on the text. If you want to create a new event in the calendar, or you want to delete a event in the calendar. So this is called intent. So what action you want to do? Okay, so these are the sample intents available here. And the same way the entities, if you select add pre-built, it's an entity that is candidate location. You can specify any location at Chennai or Mumbai or Pune. So any location you can specify. Or in your office you can have a different meeting rooms as a location. So you can also specify it with this candidate location. I'll show you how to create an entity, how to create an intent later. So we'll check. Still in progress. So you'll see the status here. Okay. Okay. In the meanwhile, okay, it's okay. Deployment succeeded. Let me go to our all resources, and then where is the deep dive? Maybe we'll check here. So there are three types created. One is created web app pod, and another one is app service and application insights. I'm selecting web app pod. Okay, this is a bot overview. So here I'm going to select the settings. So in here you can see in the OAuth connection settings there is empty. Okay, here we have to create a connection. Here we have to, if you click on that add setting, you have to add one connection to Azure Active Directory 2. This will enable the connection to Microsoft Graph. So I'm going to create a new app in Microsoft Graph. So previously when we are going to create a new uh, Graph application, we have to first register our application in the My Apps. So it during the register, it will give us a client ID and secret. Okay. So maybe I'm using. Okay, okay, it's loading. It will list out all entire applications for previously have created. Okay, so this is application we have created in the previous webinar, and now I'm going to deep dive MS Graph 05, the same name. Maybe whatever the name we can give, but it's to remember the apps between this bot and MS Graph. I'm just giving the same name. Okay, and then create. So here first I'll note it down first. I'm just name and client ID is this one, and then I generate new password by clicking on this button. It will generate a new password. So I'm just copying this and then add a platform as web, and I'll enable this allow implicit flow checkbox, and then we have to give this as a redirect URL. Okay, this is redirecting to botframework.com. So I'm just adding this as a redirect URL, and then just select. I think we can also give this information the connection string, even though we can giving this. Ensure this profile and open ID should be there in all connections, so that it will enable the connections between graph and bot. Okay, and then click on save. Okay, this is we have created an app here. So I'm going to Azure portal and then deep dive MS Graph 05 connection. Okay, client ID, have to just use this client ID, and then secret tenant one is my tenant URL is this one, and then scopes. So this is simple. So I think there's what we are going to do is we are going to fetch the SharePoint, all SharePoint sites and all SharePoint list from the site to the bot. So for that we require this alone. So even though I'm just giving all scopes here, most of the scopes, frequently used scopes here. Okay, so I'm just saving this. Once it's saved, we have to test it from here. Okay, so click once again, and then just click on the test connection button. So to log in, okay, I'm going to use another one. So maybe okay. After giving the password, it asks for the permission requested. I'm click on accept button here. Okay, so once you got this page, the connection is successful. If you are not getting this page, there is some problem in giving the connection. Okay, so the connection is successful. There is okay, and then click on save. Then here click on save this. Okay, once again, because and then here in the bot web app port and the launch and the left side navigation itself, you can see there are different options. Okay, so here click on this build. It will show you this download bot source code. So based on the information what you have created, it gives us the this option. This will enable, this will uh, give you the source code based on what are the configuration we have so far done. So I'm click on this download bot source code. It will create a source, and then it will allow us to download it. So after that we can download it, and then we can run our code, run this bot. Okay, in the meanwhile, okay, I have already opened this bot framework emulator. The latest version is this one, framework emulator version 4. Okay, so far any doubts? Okay, it's the source code is created and I'm downloading this. So I'm just extract. Okay, then folder. Okay, so this is the source code. This is JavaScript based source code for creating a bot. Here the you can see this. There is bot file. This only we have to open this bot file in the bot framework emulator. So the bot framework emulator which reads the configurations which I've done in which I've updated in this bot file. Okay, so it has the storage connection, and then it has the tenant, that is a resource group, and then this is a production based bot framework app ID and password. So these are all encoded based on the information which is created under Lewis. There is a secret ID is created. So based on that, it will encoded all the client secret into this number, this value. Okay. So this will be a connection string for Lewis. This app ID and the authoring key. If, let me show you. Okay, I'm Lewis. Cancel this and then manage. You can see this application ID. So this application ID is, you can see this one. Okay, and then there's a keys and endpoints. You can see this is a key one for ADD, and that value is encoded here. Okay, so these are the settings you have to done, and then okay, now we are going to debug and test in the development environment. So I'm going to use this, copy this app ID and password from here, and then paste it here. Okay, by default the development entry is empty. This app ID and okay, one second. Going to this overview, application settings. Yes, so this value. So this is the value which is used for encoding those client secrets. So we have to add this information into here by creating dot in file. This one you can see in the README file itself, it will show those information. Just copying this and then paste it here. Okay, this information will get it from here. Part file part and then secret. Okay, we have created. So in the meanwhile, the package, you can see these are the dependencies and the development dependencies for this application. So we have to install these dependencies to this application by using npm install. So this will download all the dependencies and add it to node modules folder under this application. So it's okay, come on. So it's okay. In the and then for enabling the Microsoft Graph SDK to this LuisBot application, we have to install this Microsoft Graph client to this application. So that after installing, that will add it into dependencies under the dependencies. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts? Okay. So, okay, first we will complete this, and then there are different files, that is index.js. This will handle all the configuration entry. So what config? Okay, this will be entry point, and this will call the bot.js. Okay, here we are having all the that is handling all the messages, whatever input given in the bot. Okay, so first one is index.js and another one is bot.js. These are the two files we are going to just modify, and then this is a entry point which we have to add it into the bottom later, or we have to add this that bot file into any channels like MSTM, that is Microsoft Teams, and any other channels. So based on this bot configuration only, all channels will read this bot. Okay, so okay, let me done, and then okay, I'm going to start this. So it's working. Now I'm going to open a bot. Downloads. So it's asking for this bot file secret. This is what we have given in the environment. Copy this, paste it, submit. Yeah, this is a simple bot. Okay, here we haven't added a Microsoft Graph. We didn't add any authentication for yet, so we have to add it. We have to update the code for that. So this is a simple bot here. So I'm just typing hi. So it's giving what's your name? Okay. So this is a simple bot. It will understand and it will give you this information. Okay. So whenever we are entering, you can see some traces here. So if we click on this trace, you can see the response as a entities is user location, type is user location, entity is Chennai, and the same way the query is I am living in Chennai. The intent will be greeting. So if I this one, you can see the entity will be, help me. Entities will be type as username and the entity will be Shanta. This is my name I have given. So in the back end, it will understand our input and it will categorize everything into intent and the entities. So this is the first one. So I'm going back to our code. Now we are going to stop this. And now we are going to install this Microsoft Graph client here. So once this is added, you can see the information is added into dependencies. So far this is a Louis. So far we have done on how to create a basic Louis bot. Now we are going to integrate the Microsoft Graph. We are going to call the Microsoft Graph API from the bot. So we have added this dependencies here. Okay, let me close this. Okay, before going to that, we have to create some two files. One is for calling Graph client Graph APIs, and another one is authentication for authentication. .js. So we have created this. So I'm going to add our client as we require. This is from Microsoft. So of typing everything. Let me have it from my backup. You can see our graph client. This I'm just copying this. So this is okay. Let me copy this, the entire thing, and then I'll explain you on this. So here we are creating a graph client as a class, and then in the constructor, I'm going to just authentication provider, and then get me which returns you the my current user information. If you use the /me in the Graph Explorer, it will return you the current user information. The same way, the same thing it will return the get me whenever we call the get me. And if you call this get manager, it will call this the current user manager information. So this is what the simple thing we are going to do for. It's a basic first now. Okay, and then in the word helper, we'll add another one thing. So, okay, so I'm just, due to time constraint, I'm just, okay, this is all the required information for running this helper. That is, first we are calling from this class graph client from this graph client.js file, and this is a OAuth prompt from bot builder dialogs. This is by default. The bot SDK already has this class names, and these are the action type messages. It's already available in the bot builder SDK. Okay, so then now we are going to add our login prompt as a constant one, and then we are going to create a what help class. Okay, this is, then I'm going, okay, then we are going to create a prompt method inside it. Okay, this will call the word prompt, and this is a login prompt. This is a adaptive card, a kind of box. It will display you please log in, and it will enable you to it will enable up to 5 minutes for you to provide an input. Okay, and then after the prompt, and then just the exports. Okay, out what helpers and login prompt. The meanwhile, we have to call this. In the graph client, we have added two methods, get me and get manager. So once we logged in, once the login is successful, okay, we are calling the client.getMe and client.getManager from the graph client.js file. And then the reply, just we are displaying the current username and the manager display name. Okay, this is what the two files. So after this, we have to call this information in the index.js and bot.js. Okay. So after this, I'll upload this source code in the GitHub. You can just download and you can use it. Okay. So okay, here we have to specify our Lewis configuration information. So let me. Uh, it's nothing but first we am going to add a Lewis configuration here. The Lewis configuration, we have to copy the current which one? Okay, in this name, you have to copy this, and then we have to update in the bot file as a name. This for our purpose only, so for understanding. So we can give any name. Okay, and then we have to use the next Lewis config. Then we have to use two additional parameters we have to add. So this is for Lewis application and the Lewis config .id. We are getting the information of this app ID and authoring key and region information. So that's for application ID, endpoint key, and the Azure region. And then we have include all intents. Yes, true, log true, and staging is false. So we are going to use the production one, so that we have given the staging as a false one. Okay. Once this is done, this is not required for now, so I'm just deleting this. Okay, and then in the user state also not required. So because we are going to use the current logged in user, so this not required. So in the basic bot, we are going to use this Lewis application and Lewis prediction options. So these are things we are going to pass into basic bot class that is available in the bot.js file. So I'm going to bot.js file. So I think let me clear these things, and we don't require this information as well. Okay, so let me open my another bot dot. It's I already have created one. So these are things we required. You can see Lewis recognizer that is available in the bot builder AI from bot builder SDK, and we required for waterfall dialog to maintain the conversation between bot and yourself, and then what helpers and login prompt, which will already we have exported in what helpers file. Okay, so this is what is. I'm just clearing this, and basic bot, you're not going to use this. So here we have to update. Okay, here we are going to use the constructor as we are going to use Lewis application and predict options, and last one is a result one. So these are the information we no need here. So I'm removing everything, and then already have the template. I'll explain you. Okay, this is a Lewis recognizer. In the Lewis recognizer class object, we are passing this Lewis application app ID and secret information, and then predict options. That is, we are going to use the production one on all intents and everything. That's what we are passing here. And then to maintain the conversation, we have created one variable and maintain the dialog and command. Everything will be handled in this property. And this is the help message. We are going to pause whenever the user click on the help. So if the button is there, and then the dialogues and the dialogues, we are going to prompt the user to log in. So based on the connection string. Okay, we have didn't set that information. So let me add that as well. Okay, so this is our AB. Okay, this is not. We're going to use that deep dive MS graph 05 connection, right? Okay, so if you want to check it, okay, that is available in wait. Okay, so let me deep dive MS graph 05 connection. Yes, the connection setting is correct. And then we are going to pause this waterfall dialog, and we are the prompting the user to log in. And once the prompt is done, and what we are going to do is the next step. So these two methods we have to create now. So and I'm removing this entire thing. So on turn contacts were required. So I'm just removing the inner side contents. Okay, and then these two information we not required for now. So these two methods I am removing. Okay, so this will be okay, and then prompt step, and okay. So let me copy this information from here. So first I'm copying everything. So this is a just we are creating the context first, and then Lewis recognizer, and then the based on the return type, the intent return type, the based on the result type, we are processing, we are calling the method. So by initially we are going to use this event invoke, and then sorry, it's okay. First one is okay. So this is the message. Once we return the message, we are going to call this process input. So whatever based on the conversation message, and then if any error or anything happen, we are going to call this information, and then it's based on a conversation. Okay, we are going to call this send welcome message, because first method is a conversation update type, and by default is this one. Last, we are going to save the changes, save the user conversation information. Okay, and I think on turn is done. So we are going to call this. We are going to we have to write send welcome message, and then the process input method now. So this is a send welcome message. This is a this contains the adaptive code. So by default, it has a hero code, and then the messages, and it by default it showed images, and then it shows some of the commands: log me in, me, and to view the view token and sign out. Okay, so this is the welcome message. By default, it will show. So once it's done, we are going to call the process step and process input methods. So I think So this is a prompt step. It will open a dialog to log in to allow the user to log into this bot, and then the prompt to process step. This will, based on the result, it will give you. It will call based on the Lewis result. We are going to use this information. So once this token response, based on the token response, first okay, if the command is login, it's going to call one info one property, and then based on the Lewis intent, it's displayed information you have already logged in. If it is not, if it is me, it is going to call this list me. If this is, that is, Lewis command is me, then it's going to call this method. Okay, if the Lewis command is view token, it's going to display this token response. Okay, and the last one is, it's based on any else. If nothing but it's other than these commands, we are going to the information, the methods or the text will be displayed. Okay, so this will be let up intent. Okay, so bot.js is there. So I'm going to run this now. So this is done. After that, let me close this and open once again. Okay, this is the welcome message. You can see, log me in, saying some oops, something went wrong. Save changes of undefined. Where we are having this save changes. Okay, not under index text. Okay, this is not. We're going to save conversation state. Yes. So let me close this and then run once again. So let me close this and reopen the bot from the bottom later. Okay, so I'm click on this log me in. This is a login is a command, and based on this login command, it opens another one prompt. You can see this. I'm just click on this. I have already logged in with the username, so it's not showing that. Instead of that, it's showing the code. So it's, and then I'm pasting this. Okay, you have already logged in. So if you added this bot into MS Microsoft Teams or anything else, that is Microsoft based sites, it will take the current user context. There you won't get this the numbers and these things. Okay, so I clicked on this and then I'm click on me, so it will get my name and my manager. You can see, and then if I want to see view token, okay, your token is this. So if I click on the sign out, it sign out from it. So 1 second, I'm trying to log me in. It shows a prompt. So I'm click on this login. Okay, and I'm click on this. Okay, if you want to see my where is that? Okay, currently I'm in here. Let me go into that graph explorer. Mm, Graph. I'm going to graph explorer, signing in with my login, already signed in. So it's okay, my profile slash me. So it's show me my display name and this my okay. I'm click on this my manager. The display name is my manager. That's what we have retrieved there. Okay. Now we are going to use how to get the list of a number of SharePoint sites. Okay. For that, first we have to train the Lewis bot. So I'm going to this Lewis bot. Okay, and then build. Here I have to just let me first time just use try okay get all SharePoint sites. Okay, sorry. Oh, get all SharePoint sites and then get a list from SharePoint site. So these are the two. Just before that, I'm just giving this. So here in the test itself, you can change any intent. You are currently you see the score of that our text and the intent will be greeting. So here I want to change this intent. So for that, I'm going to create SharePoint dot get done. Okay. This is again a new intent, and in the entity, I'm going to create SP list. Type is simple and SP site. So I'm going to okay. Let me try in this. So it's in training. Okay, there is no information available under the available for this SharePoint.get, so that you are getting this information. So, let me okay. Here, let me check get SharePoint. Get all SharePoint sites. Okay, this intent in the undefined. Okay, for that we let me go into bot.js. Here, this is what we are seeing here. Seeing there is no command is matching this login me and v token. It's coming to this else one, and here only we are handling all the Lewis intent and scoring based on the Lewis intent and score. You can see the top intent dot score, which will give you the top intent and its score, and what is the top intent name. So for that, we have to use this dot Lewis result dot Lewis result dot top scoring intent. Let me save this and then I'm running this. Okay, is there? So I'm just copying the same command and once again running this. So yeah, the intent will be greeting and the score is 0.31. Okay, when we are testing the same thing, the same intent and the responses score is there. So now we are going to change this greeting to SharePoint.get. So for that, let me close this. Get a list from SharePoint site. Okay, and then get subsites from SharePoint site. Not required. Okay, get SharePoint site from my sub. Okay. This is another one. So based on, so I'm going to our Luis portal, and then the review entrance, review endpoint entrances. It will list out what are the information we have typed in the bot. I will be displayed here. So based on that, we have to just update here. Okay, this will be a SharePoint.get intent, and then site. I'm going to select this as a entity. Okay, and then before that, I'm going to add the pre-built entity called URL. Okay, so this is list will be SP list, site will be SP site, and this will be SharePoint.get. Okay, and the same way SP site. This is called training the bot. Okay, and just enter. After that, click on the training. Click on the train. It will train. It will train the bot. So, and then once its training is end, we'll test it. So it's keep on training. It's okay. So once this training is over, we have to publish this. Okay, train is done, and then I'm going to use this one. You can see it's automatically changed. This one be SharePoint.get, and the entities will be list and site. Okay, so if I use get all SharePoint site, the entity will be SP site. So based on this entity and intent, we are going to call our Graph API. So now I'm going to publish this. Publish. Okay, this is published now. So I'm going to test the same thing here in the bot framework. So get list from SharePoint site. You can see now the intent will be SharePoint.get and score is 0.93. And if we look on this trace, in the trace, you can see the entities will be SP list, type is SP list, and type is SP site. So based on that, we are going to call the Microsoft Graph. Okay, so whenever we are getting this site SP site information, we are going to call our Graph API to list out all the SharePoint sites. So that's what we are going to do it right now. So let me go to Graph Explorer, and then some more example. Let me show you that. Okay, this is what enumerate, search for SharePoint site, and then start. This will list out all the SharePoint site. Okay, so this is what first we are going to do it now. So going to this, if top intent will be SharePoint.get, going to call the method from word helper. And you okay, first we have to create a new method here. Instead of list me, we are going to use just I'm copying the same thing from the list me, and then I'm putting sp get then context. Let me add the URL. Okay. Let me like it. Okay, and then client graph line. Instead of this, we are going to call sp get and passing this URL. Okay, sp info. We are going to use. Okay, we'll add it later. So we have to create a new method in graphclient.js as a sp get. So I'm going to here. Let me copy and paste it and get sp and then URL. So instead of this, we are going to pass URL here. Okay, done. So and then I'm come back to auth helper. Here we have to pass sp info information dot or we can json dot okay. So this is done, and we are going to call this method in here where bot.js. Okay, I'm calling this and paste it here. Oh, sorry. So sp get. Okay, and then if we get it where sp URL value will be slash what we have seen here. Okay, this is what I'm going to pass URL value with current context and token response. And the word helper we have three parameters: URL, turn context, and token response. Let me stop this and run. Okay, so it's running. I'm back to here. Let me close the current one and then opening this. Okay, first I'm going to log me in to this bot. You're already logged in. Okay, get SharePoint sites. Something wrong. Let me check. Client.sp get is not a function. Client.sp get. Okay, let me check here. Okay. Okay, let me use sp. Okay. So I'm trying to use the same thing once again. Trace. Something wrong. Haha. Okay, JSON.stringify is a not function. It's because we have to add the correct value there. in the OAuth helper. Okay. You can start. Okay, let me call the same command once again. You can see, okay, you have retrieved all information in the JSON format. Yeah, you can see it here. So instead of displaying everything like this, we'll create one adaptive card and display it there. Okay, so it will be look nice when you create a adaptive card kind of thing. Okay, let me create it first. So in the OAuth helper, we have retrieved okay information sp info. So we'll be calling this in a collection. Okay, let sp info dot value, because when you call this one, all the collection will be available under the value. So I'm using this as in a collection now. If this collect not equal to undefined, we're going to use the current one. Maybe I plus, then we'll adding all collections here. Response value as a array. Dot push. Maybe you can check the adaptive card syntax later. So I'm going to use that. First type as it's VLO action dot open URL. URL will be the collection of web URL, then at last title. Title will be site display name. Okay, we have added this in a loop. Okay, once this is done, we're going to create constant factory dot adaptive card. We have already declared this card factory in previous in top. Okay. You have to use. Let me check. I already have this or not. Yeah, I already have it. Okay, and then actions will be this one. It. Okay. Maybe first we can put 0 and then the inside. And then the reply will be attachments and then Discord. So here in the name we are going to use A. And this. Okay, that's it. Let me check it now. Oh, it's not coming. Okay, we'll close it and then rerun it. So any doubts? Okay, let's run it. Okay. Oops, something wrong. I think there is some. A code is undefined. Where we have declared a code. Why this is? Okay, yeah, let me. Okay, so it's, we have created internally. There's a scope issue. Now we'll run it. Okay, now we'll see what happened. Yeah, the adaptive card, it's displaying all the site with the URL. I'm just click on this. It will open in here. So you can see the site is there. Okay, so we'll see. Okay, now we have seen based on what where this spot. Okay, based on the intent. Now we'll see based on the entity we have to show. So let me. Okay, maybe for this we can say like this. If okay, maybe all entities. Okay, if you see this response, let me show where is the trace. You can see Louis response with the entities, Louis response with the top scoring intent. You can see it below, top scoring intent. So we are going to call this entity and check for is there any SP entity is the SP list or SP site. Okay, well, this dot Louis result dot entities. The spelling is correct. Yeah. So all entities. I'm going to check whether maybe we can use array dot filter and everything. So here I'm going to use like this. all entities of phi dot type sp list means maybe I'm just this list value, let site value, I'm just declaring this, and if it is any URL, okay. So there are three types of value we can expect, entities we can expect. One is list val, and in the entity it will display the value what the user entered. Okay, so if is site, and we have added another one, built-in dot URL. So if list val maybe we can have result root slash list. Okay, and then equal value plus, okay. Let me try it now. So now we'll try get list from root side. What happened? It's not. Let me check the trace. There is no entity, so that it's the point side. Something wrong. Okay, so I think there is some problem. Let me check what the URL will be. We will debug it right now. Check out the trace. It's returning SP list entity, and then the error will be, oh, it's not giving like this. So let me check for URL value slash sites, and then if list value is not equal to empty, okay, okay, URL val, this is object, returning the object value. Okay, then let me let look in the what Check what the intent is. Intent will be SharePoint.get as the topmost, and in the list we have retrieved SP list. Okay, so everything is correct. So where is the problem here? Okay, all entities dot length. I missed this one. We'll check. This from SharePoint site. Still we have some problem. The reference I is not defined. Where is this I? Oh, check I. Okay, it's running. Now we check here. It lists from SharePoint site. So it will retrieve all the list from the root site. Let's see. Yeah, these are the list we have retrieved it from the root site, root SharePoint site. And you can see in the trace, you can see the entity will be SP list is there. Okay, so let me, we can get a list from SharePoint site. Okay, this will be intent score trace. Okay, so this is a very simple one. So what I am trying to do is, instead of getting it from root site, I'm trying to get it from sub site. That's once that is done, we can complete our demo. Okay, let me go to our Louis and then review our thing. So we haven't trained that. Load more. This is from SharePoint get and get SharePoint sites is done. URL. Nope. Get list from SharePoint site. Same we can write here. O dot share. Okay, site URL will be here. Okay. Inspect. Intent, we have to change it to SharePoint.get. Once it's tested, we can use this. Okay, let me check this. So if you are trying to get list information from the sub site, you have to use a different type of URL. That is, if I want to get the sub site, kts demo.sharepoint slash okay slash list. It will return all the list under this site. Okay, if you want to get it from sub site, it won't retrieve. So instead of for that, we have to use this symbol here and then run this Git use demo project. Let me check it. Run query. Yeah. And then to get the list, you have to use like this. Okay. So that is if we try, we can also use that, and I'm going to get maybe get SharePoint site from sharepoint.com/dev. What is retrieving? It's retrieving the SharePoint.get, and the entity will be this one. So let me check this. Okay, if it is entity will be SP site, and also it's there maybe if URL val not equal to empty and site is not equal to this one, so our URL value will be so first we have to split the values. So let me okay, and then I'm going to use so simple one, so that I'm going to use a simple 0. So we can dynamically we can change it. That is not a problem. Okay. So this will return the subsite information. Let me check it. So if you are trying to get the subsite information, it won't return you the value. That is the value object in the helper. So for this, if it is not undefined, else check it. Okay, so once this is done, I'm going to bottom later, and then I'm closing this, and then reopening the bot in the bottom later. I'm going to log me in. So get SharePoint sites. Something wrong. I don't know where I have missed. Okay, where index.js didn't change. Bot.js. Uh, okay, leave it. So maybe I'll update I'll update everything on GitHub. Once I updated everything, I'll update the modified code without error, and then I'll just move into the GitHub. Okay. So, do you have any doubts so far? So maybe I'll cover this up during this for a couple of minutes. Any queries? No. Okay, I think this one. Okay, so I think if you don't have any doubts so far, maybe I'll end this session. Maybe I'll update updated code in the GitHub, and then I'll share you later with this demo. Okay, I'll also upload the demo to the YouTube. Okay, so thank you for coming and watching this webinar. So, and you can view my more information in the blog and view videos from my ktskumar.com. I always available in this below KTS Kumar handle. Thank you for coming and watching. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sure. I'll share GitHub link later. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Bye.